Paris Saint-Germain, back-to-back Champions League winners, along with obviously all sorts of domestic successes and stuff. But as discussed previously, that kind of comes with the territory. James, Luis Enrique now has three Champions Leagues. He's up in with company like Carlo Ancelotti and Bob Paisley and Zinedine Zidane, and the list goes on. These fantastic managers to hit that point. He's done it with different clubs as well, which is really remarkable, really amazing. From the team that had the big stars in it when Mbappe was there, when Neymar was there, when Messi was there, when that was kind of an ugly breakup, an ugly divorce of those superstars, and when Luis Enrique finally came in and went, no, that's not how we're going to do it. We're going to be team first. And I think a lot of people were like, oh, this might take some time. Here they are, back to back Champions Leagues. I think comfortably the best team in world football at the moment. What do you have to say about PSG? It's hard as an Arsenal fan, but I know that you can be objective.
Wow. Absolutely wow. As I said, I'm an Arsenal fan. I generally bleed Arsenal, but I'm a very objective football fan who makes, who can sit there and just look out for, and just see what I see and appreciate what I see. And this is right now a modern day dynasty. Yeah, this is just unbelievable. And I'm gonna say this right now. This is the best team I've seen since Real Madrid's 3P team. And that means that means they've overtaken Liverpool's unbelievable Jurgen Klopp team. They've overtaken, in my eyes, Man City's treble winning team. Bayern Munich's team were like they won the six trophies in a row. And then Real Madrid's like a recent Vinicius sort of monopoly team in there. They've overtaken them, and right now they're in uncomfortable company for a lot of people right now, where they're in that AC Milan from 2003 all the way to 2007. They're in that sort of range where you're talking in your Barcelona all-time greats from 2009 to 2015 or even 14. I mean, 2009, 2012. Pep's won, and then like you have Luis Enrique's won there, and then most importantly, you have the treble winning team from 2006 all the way to 2008. That Real Madrid team, they're in that mode. They're in that sort of company now, Jack. And I just think the biggest thing that I love about them is that they're not superstars. A lot of them are a bunch of cast-offs. João Neves, Vitinha play for Wolves, and Jack, they couldn't get start for them.
No.
It just goes to show you that football is always about your situations and like think about it where you're at. It just because this situation doesn't work for you, that doesn't mean the next situation won't work for you. Vitinha to me is probably the best midfielder in the world today, and he couldn't start for Wolverhampton Wanderers, who've been relegated a couple of years ago. Wow. I can go on about somebody like Ousmane Dembele. Jack, there's a famous tweet that my friends bring up all the time. Me talking about, oh, Dembele gets injured all the time. What's the point? There was a Jenny time he was a laughing stock. What was the point of him being there? And to see where he is today, he could go on to win a double Ballon d'Or. Kvaratskhelia had an unbelievable season, then had a drop off, and that's why people forgot about him. Look at him now today. Desiree Doué, um, somebody like Hakimi kind of went under the radar. Now he's widely known as the best right back in world football today. Nuno Mendes. It's
Most decorated African player ever, I think, after last night too, which is kind of a crazy achievement if you think about some of those names.
Jack, and he's racking it up right now. And this team's racking it up. Jack, they have two in a row. I remember when Real Madrid did it? In like think about it in like 2017, it was huge. Like what a team went back to back because what we went almost 20 something years without a team going that went 25 years without a team going back to back, and we just thought, okay, no other team's going to do it after that. Surely it's not going to happen because bear in mind we had a Barca team didn't do that, and AC Milan teams like didn't do that. Bayern's teams couldn't do that. Like Man United's teams, and to see this team now in that Real Madrid conversation going back to back, Jack, they're gonna look at world football right now thinking we've won two, everyone should stay the same. We may add a little bit, and that's in Jack. That's what the conversation was like.
And you have to say that they're going to be there or thereabouts. The one team I think that might be able to challenge them next year if they make the right kind of signings, is Bayern Munich. If Kane can stay at it, they can add one or two really top quality players, central midfielder, maybe another attacker, maybe a fullback. I think, Bayern Munich might be able to challenge again. But aside from that, I wouldn't be overly clip this up, everybody. I
Arsenal,
wouldn't be
Arsenal.
overly. Maybe Arsenal, but I don't think the style is indicative of winning it next year. Personally, but I do think that Bayern might be close. But James, one thing that I know, and this is, I'm going to ask your expertise on this. The space in modern football and what most teams are trying to do is to get up the pitch and then have isolation of a winger with a fullback, right? That's like very much the modern handbook on how to do attacking football. Well, I look at Nuno Mendes and I think that guy could arguably be the best left back in the world. I think an argument could be made there. I look at Kvicha Kvaratskhelia and I think I don't know if there's a more talented player in the world right now than him on that flank. And then on the other side, you've got Akraf Hakimi, who's probably the best right back in the world, up there with, and I know it's very fluid, but a Desiree Doué, an Ousmane Dembele, Barcola off the bench, who's unbelievable when he gets his opportunity. Have they just kind of nailed this modern idea? Don't get me wrong, the midfield and the defense is pretty nice too in the center, but have they nailed this idea that their flanks are probably just the best in world football?
Jack, I think it's a bit of everything, and I think the biggest thing is to have players who can dominate 1v1. And I say that you look at Bettina, you put him in a box right now, you pass him in the ball and have two players press him, he ain't giving that ball away. Exactly, it's the exact same thing with João Neves and Jack. They understand control, they understand tempo, when to go, when to slow it down, and it's that thing of that lovely balance that Real Madrid had with your Cruz and Casemiro in there. PSG got that in a Bundes Fabio like Fabio Ruiz in there, his late runs into the box. They just have that great balance where Jack, Jack, they don't have a destroyer, they don't have eights and all that. Jack, everyone kind of really does everything, and that's what makes it so amazing. Dembele might he plays as a striker. Dembele is not a striker. He's a winger, but he'll pop up in a wing. He'll pop up as a six if he needs to, Jack. Remember that
Yeah,
great goal he scored against Arsenal? He dropped all the way to a six and ended up in like in the box. Cavaskhelia, Jack, he's a wide player. He might end up in the middle. The rotations from this team is just unbelievable. It comes from a manager making sure that the players are set up and know exactly where they need to be. And it's just free flowing. And that's what makes it so good to watch. But Jack, I got a couple of things I'm going to say right now.
yeah, go on.
PSG were a laughing stock in European football. Yeah, the Neymar, Messi stuff was they were so close so many times, couldn't get through the line. They had a guy called Kylian Mbappe, Jack, and there was this iconic video of Luis Enrique sitting him there telling him, please do this for me. Please press for me. Please work hard for me. Please be that player, that vocal point that can do it, and we'll get all the success. You can see him nodding, but in his head, I've already won a World Cup. I can do what I want. I'm going off to Real Madrid. You guys
Arrogance.
need me more than I need you. I'm
Yeah.
off.
Mm-hmm.
And when Luis Enrique popped out his chest and said, "Go, I don't care. We're gonna do without you," and I questioned it. Mbappe, you guys need Mbappe. Mbappe don't need you. And to
Mm-hmm.
see what they have done, Luis Enrique, you are the man.
Yeah.
Forget about the players in there. The manager has given these guys the confidence to be who they are today, Jack. And just fair play to him. We're gonna have some serious, I mean some serious conversations about Luis Enrique in all-time rankings. And I'm gonna say this right now. My boy Killian, hear me out. You have a World Cup in next season to save your club career. And I
Yeah.
truly do mean that. Because now, yeah, you have a team that's not just won one Champions League since you've gone, they've gone back to back. And the team
Yeah.
that you just joined, before you joined, they won two out of the last three Champions League campaigns. And now you've joined, they went back to back seasons without a trophy. So
Yeah.
his legacy, and I don't like to bring that word up, is on the line right now, Jack. Big time. Yeah.
Absolutely. And also if him and Mourinho don't vibe too, or any of those guys, Mourinho is at a point where Mourinho could not care less. Mourinho could have, and he's not been great as of late, but Mourinho could have a real downtrend. Mourinho will also always be remembered from the mid 2000s into kind of the early teens as one of the greats. He doesn't care, so he won't carry any passengers if he doesn't want to. My final thing on PSG that I would say, and I think again it's the credit of this fantastic team, James. As we saw, I think you can bring out João Neves and put Zaire Emery in, and they don't drop off. I think you can take out Doué, Kvara, Dembele, and you can put Barcola in, and they don't drop off at all. The, no matter what pieces go in, even from the bench, the team doesn't really drop off enough. And that's not me trying to criticize the starters. That's a credit to the manager, the team, and the way it's set up. Final thing, just to kind of really hammer home the point, it's 18 shots a game. It's 68, 70% possession most games as well, in terms of chances created, all this kind of stuff. All of these things are at the top of the top of the top. There's no gimmicks. There's nothing weird going on. It's exciting, great football. Everybody saw that first leg of PSG Bayern Munich. This is one of the great, these guys are absolute entertainers. And it took probably the best defensive team we've seen in a generation in the 25-26 Arsenal team to even put a slight stop on them in a final. So, yeah, they deserve so much credit. And, James, like you say, the more they keep racking up these wins, I'm putting them as favourites for the Champions League next year. We might
And
have to start having some crazy conversations
some
in the next couple of years.
uncomfortable conversations. And the biggest thing, I think, French football. Phew, first of all, France is flying right now. Wimby got into the final of like the NBA with the Spurs. A French
Yeah.
player might win Roland Garros, with all them man going out there. So listen, it's a mad time for French. It's a mad time for French football right now, and to see where these men are at is just insane. Big up to Paris Saint-Germain.
Oh,
Honestly,
100%.
what
Absolutely.
a team.